The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are NC.
The Royals held the Yankees to 3 runs and no home runs, but New York held the Royals to 1 run in a rare low-scoring game last night at Yankee Stadium. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to New York. I'm Ryan Lefevre with Royals Hall of Famer Frank White. And, Frank, we thought the key going into the game last night was to keep the Yankees in the ballpark. The Royals did that, but still lost the game.
Well, they did, Ryan, but I think if Vin Mazzaro can come out tonight and give the Royals an opportunity to stay close, and that's really been their success all year, is staying close late in games and coming back and win those games. I think manager Ned Yost will take that again. It was a double dose of bad news last night. The loss was preceded by the news that Bruce Chen is going on the disabled list with a shoulder strain, so finally, Vin Mazzaro makes his Royals debut. Well, Vin Mazzaro will be featuring Ryan, the basic pitches, a sinker, slider, changeup, but the sinker being his best pitch, and he's going to be trying to keep the ball on the ground tonight and give his infield a chance to play. If you have forgotten, Vin Mazzaro came over from the A's in a trade during the offseason that sent David DeJesus to Oakland. And when the Royals left spring training, Vin Mazzaro was in the starting rotation. He was going to be the 5th starter, but got off to a slow start at AAA. Sean O'Sullivan took his spot. Meanwhile, Mazzaro has really picked up his game with an ERA of 3 over his last 3 starts for the Storm Chasers. Well, when we got into this series, we heard that Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez were struggling, yet they were right in the middle of the Yankees' win last night. Well, they're always going to be in the middle of something because they're just 2 great players, and Vin Mazzaro is going to have to deal with these guys tonight. But he's from this area, and I think that he won't be fazed by coming into Yankee Stadium, and that's what a pitcher has to be when they come in here, Ryan, very confident. Melky Cabrera got his homecoming out of the way last night in a big way and early, hitting a home run against Freddie Garcia in his first at-bat at Yankee Stadium in a Royals uniform. It was the Royals' only run last night. The first pitch is coming up next.
2-0 Yankees in the Bronx as Eric Hosmer set to step up, batting in the 3 hole for the first time in his major league career. Interesting talking to Ned Yost today, and Ryan alluded to the day off for Alex Gordon, but it wasn't just as simple as the 2 for 15 lifetime against A.J. Burnett. Ned says after every game he talks to his coaches, gets a little bit of a gauge on how his guys are doing because they know the players better than anybody. Kevin Seitzer on the hitters, Eddie Rodriguez on the infielders, Doug Sisson on the outfielders, and they said last night, okay, anybody need a day off, that's what he'll ask. And Kevin Seitzer said last night, might be time to give Alex Gordon a break here. Just give him a day off with the way things have been going lately. Then they looked at the numbers, saw the 2 for 15. As for Hosmer batting third, guys, he said, believe he's going to be a 3-4-5 hitter for a long time. Leave Frenchie where he's at. Give Hosmer a crack at 3. Just short term, guys.
All right, Jolie grounded out to first base his first time up and then was standing at the plate in the 3rd inning when Alcides Escobar was caught stealing to end the inning with mom and dad watching tonight. Hosmer, Butler, Francoeur coming up in the 4th. Royals do not have a base hit yet against Burnett. They have 3 runners with 2 walks and an error committed by Burnett. 3-1.
Well, a 3-1 count. You know, Hosmer's shown a lot of patience at the plate, and this has got to be his pitch. This has got to be a pitch he can try to drive. Anything other, he's just got to let it go.
Ed Rapuano says that was a swing, and it's 3-2.
And those are just learning things. Those are just things he's got to learn as a hitter at this level, and just center your pitch where you want it on 3-1, and anywhere else, just kind of spit on it.
Deep right field. You talk about spitting on it. Into the second deck. So a huge sigh of relief for mom and dad. They were dying with every pitch. And Eric Hosmer saves his first major league home run for the brightest lights and the biggest stage.
Well, he hit it a long way too. 3-2 pitch. And the best thing that happened to him after that home run is that the fans threw the ball back on the field, and he was able to get his first home run ball. So that helped. That helped also. But it was just great to see him after, make that effort on that 3-1 pitch, come back on 3-2 to make the adjustment and really sting the ball.
And now Billy into deep center field. Granderson back to the track, and he runs it down. And that's just the way it's going right now for Billy Butler. You can see the frustration all over his face and the excitement all over Eric Hosmer's face.
Ryan, this is just a great swing here. I mean, he gets all of this ball, and he knows right away. If you watch Burnett here, I mean, he just turns to home plate. He knows this ball's not coming back. I mean, this is just great bat speed right down through the ball, and there's a no doubter. He kissed that one really well. And look at mom, there she goes. She reminds you of the home run that Tommy hit in Minnesota off the flagpole. And Lando Hudson, but not quite as bad, but just as excited.
Very high to left field. And Brett Gardner retires Jeff Francoeur. He's 0 for 2. And Frank said there will be no negotiation to get Eric Hosmer's first home run ball back. That fan just threw it right back out into the field.
They just made it perfect, and Cano asked for the ball. He knew that was the first home run ball, and he didn't give the ball boy a chance to go give it away in the stands on the other side, so he threw it back into the Royals. Everything worked out perfectly on that home run.
Yeah, they talk about how tough Yankee fans are. That was a very thoughtful gesture.
Well, I think if I'm a fan and how much we dream about catching balls in the stands, I don't think I would have thrown mine back. That's something they'll regret down the road somewhere.
I'm sure that fan has found out by now that ball was worth a lot. That might have been worth an autographed bat from Eric Hosmer to retrieve the home run ball. Might have been worth some tickets to the game tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely worth 2 baseballs.
Right field, and Swisher all the way back and has room to make the catch. So a home run, 2 deep fly ball outs. And Eric Hosmer will never forget May the 11th, 2011. So they're loaded up with 1 out, and what a spot for Eric Hosmer. Already has his first major league home run. That was back in the 4th inning. And a chance to put the Royals in front again. Family still on the edge of their seats. Mom, dad, uncle, cousin, brother. Chris Getz at third. Gerard Dyson at second. Melky Cabrera at first. Still 0-2.
Well, Alec gave Eric a nice pitch to hit right there, and he was all over it, but the ball sank just a little bit underneath his swing.
Very shallow center field. Granderson was deep. He makes the catch, gets to the plate, and the Royals have regained the lead. Eric Hosmer has driven in 2 tonight. Yankees will appeal down to third base.
Well, this pitch here is on the ground. I mean, this is just an excellent piece of hitting right here. He was able to get just enough of this ball to get it out in the right center field. Got Granderson going the opposite way that he wanted to throw, and that was just enough for Chris Getz to get in on his sac fly. So Eric Hosmer, really battled in this at bat.
To the bottom of the 11th inning, Royals by 1. They have scored in the 8th. They have scored in the 10th and now in the 11th. And Lewis Coleman with a chance for his first major league save if he can get past Alex Rodriguez, Eduardo Nunez, and Nick Swisher. So there is not as much torque, at least on the lower body, for Lewis Coleman.
Well, you're right. He really had to open that front foot up to get those hips open, you know, so he doesn't throw against that front side. See how he swings that, watch his front foot and how he swings that open toward the target, and that opens the hip, and that avoids him throwing across the body right there. There have been some other guys that made those changes. If you watch his setup, you know, Dan Quisenberry had to make that change, and guys like Gene Garber and Kent Tekulve, all those guys went from up on top down below, and they had successful careers that way.
Now a strike to Nick Swisher. So when he's on the rubber, he's way over on the third base side, and that back foot. See, he's when he strides, he's straight.
So the back foot's angled out.
Yeah.
And then he just, yeah, I see what you're saying there.
So being a right-hand pitcher, the whole outside of his left foot is not up against the rubber. Just the front end of his foot is up against the rubber. So his lower body is lined up straight when he strides, but then of course comes across with the arm.
Well, it gives him a lot of deception too, because the hitters can't see all that. And I'm just really this first time he's come out where you're starting to see more of his breaking ball too, where normally he come out and throw fastball, but he's throwing some good sliders here tonight too.
One strike away from his first major league save. Two and two. Three balls, two strikes, and Jorge Posada is on deck. Struck him out. So it is a night of first for the Royals. Eric Hosmer with his first major league home run, his first major league 2 RBI game, as he gets the game winner in the top of the 11th inning with a sacrifice fly. Vin Mazzaro makes his first Royals appearance, and Lewis Coleman with a 1-2-3 bottom of the 11th inning has his first major league save. And it only took 4 hours and 31 minutes.
We've been here a while.
And if you haven't had enough, we'll be right back.